All right, everyone. Welcome. Happy Sunday. Welcome to today's live stream. So definitely want to find out. I'm going to be monitoring a couple of charts here. We've got a lot of stuff going on today. So if you have the time, grab a pen and paper, grab some notes. I'm going to be going over a lot of charts, nice and easy. I also want to answer all of your questions. So please let me know if you have any questions in the comments as we move through the charts. Again, welcome to the live stream. Let me know down in the comments below where you are watching from today. Also, share the link to the stream to others who might be trading in your group, in your community, friends and family. Let them get excited about what's possible with trading. Okay, again, welcome. My name's the Professor, aka Armando, and welcome to today's live stream. We're going to be going over a lot of charts, and I'm glad that you are here. Welcome to all of our community members as well. Great to see you here as well. So let me know where you are tuning in from so we can give you a shout out. We are streaming on multiple platforms, so welcome. I do want to give a shout out to Michael Kirsch, who just became a brand new member inside of our YouTube community. Michael, thank you so much for being here as well. Okay, and you can definitely support this channel. We send all proceeds of this channel over to our favorite charity, which is St. Jude's Hospital. So if you give a rising star or a super chat or a super thanks, that's where it's going on behalf of your name. So thank you so much for that. Hey, Tomas, want to say a quick hello. Awesome. Hey, appreciate it. Glad you got value on that video. And welcome from Canada, our good friend VJ from over from Dubai. Someone else from Dubai. Welcome. And good to see we've got about 28 folks on the live stream, and we are going to get started right now. It's Sunday. For those of you that believe in a higher power, I've got a message for you today. Hopefully you've had opportunity to listen to some worship, spend time in your faith. So down below, there's a message that will be streaming. It's nice to make money, but if you don't know what to do with it in the right places, it's not going to really matter. So I'm more proud of bringing people to their faith, whatever your faith is, versus teaching you how to make a few bucks in the market. So maybe read below kind of that what's going on scrolling. If it resonates with you, a simple prayer and get yourself right within your faith. Okay, so we have a lot of stuff going on today. We're going to cover all the news on this stream as well. And in case you don't know who I am, I've been teaching business courses for over 15 years, both undergraduate and graduate. And I've been an investor and trader for over 8 years. And like many of you, the beginning was a struggle until I got with the right people, with the right mentorship, with the right community. That's where things started turning around for me. And it's been a true blessing ever since. And now my main focus is just to be able to give back. Secondly is, what are you going to find in today's video? We are going to cover about 12 charts. I'm going to walk you through them. So stick around till you get to your favorite chart or charts. And if you go into the video description, either during the video or after the video, and you want to join us tonight, we trade live every Sunday for gaps. Come on in, pick up a membership inside the community. I can guarantee you, you will not be disappointed. And I'm also doing a President's Day $10 coaching offer. It was only exclusive to our members in our community, but I'm going to open that up to everybody here today on this live stream. You can find that link in the video description area. And then lastly, this is my plan for you today, is to learn the key zones for each chart that you are interested in, and then to feel better about your trading decisions. Okay. And then lastly is, you can definitely support me and my channel. It's free. All you need to do is hit the like button if you are on YouTube. Okay, if you're on another social media platform, hit that like button as well. And if you want to share this link again, please do so. And this morning's comment of the day, I don't share names personally, so that way others, some people like to be private in nature, but I loved receiving this message this morning. And just briefly, hey, Armando, I hope this message finds you well. I wanted to take a moment to sincerely thank you for the valuable live analysis and trade alerts you have been providing. Your insights and guidance have been instrumental in helping me navigate the market more effectively. Over the past few months, I faced some challenges and I was struggling to stay in profit. However, thanks to your timely analysis and well-researched trade alerts, I have been able to turn things around and finally see some positive results. While my profits are still modest, I am grateful for the progress and the confidence I have gained through your expertise. Your dedication and effort in delivering precise market insights do not go unnoticed, and I truly appreciate the time and knowledge you share with us. I look forward to continuing to learn from your analysis and improving my trading strategy with your guidance. Once again, thank you for your unwavering support. I hope to build on this momentum and achieve even greater success with your insights. So again, thank you to that member who sent me that message this morning. And so we're going to deliver on that. And that's why I think community, whether it's my community or someone else's community, as long as it's healthy, is so important for the growth. So if you're struggling, if you have a small account, if you're trying to pass a challenge through one of the funded brokers, I believe this is the place for you. And I'm going to give you a sneak peek of that in just a little bit. But I do kind of want to get started with the analysis. So let's jump right into it as we're going to start first on the currency side. Okay, we're taking a look at the DXY. And if you don't know what the DXY is, that is the dollar index. Okay, so that for some folks in our group who do trade the actual DXY, right, we began talking about shorting the DXY, meaning the US dollar was going to become weaker at this Fibonacci level and at this area of resistance. So remember that as the US dollar gets weaker, okay, so think of it like a pendulum, just like this, right? So if the US dollar, and I'm just going to go ahead and actually let me grab a typo here and I'll make this US dollar. If the US dollar is getting weaker, that means every pair on this side, right? If the US dollar is getting weaker, what's going to happen is that the pairs are going to go up that have the US dollar on it. So if the US dollar is weaker, that means, for example, pairs like GU will go up, AU will go up, NU will go up. And we're going to be taking a look at these in just a little bit. So it's kind of like a pendulum, right? The stronger currency will push the price in one direction or another. Once the US dollar becomes stronger, okay, and that's going to take this dollar index to break above 107.05 to then head back up. Once the US dollar becomes stronger, then the pendulum will shift, okay? In this case, the same pairs here will then be on the top of the seesaw. So what's going to happen? Instead of GU, AU, NU going up, GU, AU, NU will start going down. So if you trade currencies, right, you definitely should be monitoring the DXY and the dollar index because that is your cheat code for trading currencies. That's why I believe if you're brand new to trading, forget oil, forget the indices, forget gold, spend time learning the currency pairs. And that's why I spend a lot of time sharing currency trades inside of our group, because I think that's the foundation before you get into the very more volatile type of things like indices and futures and all that stuff. Learn to trade Forex first, and then that way you can then transition if you need to transition. So the dollar index, okay, is definitely going to be something that you want to pay attention to, okay? So that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the DXY for what may or may not happen this week. And we're going to be covering some of the news events that are coming out here in just a minute, okay? So we've got a floor down here at 105.70, okay? We've got a floor at 105.70. We're going to do our Fibonacci retracement tool down up here. Again, we are sitting on the daily chart. This is where institutional money is traded, not the 5, not the 15, the daily chart. So the dollar is, again, has not broken this lower structure, okay? For the dollar to change to a bearish structure, because if we back this up, and you can see here, right, you can definitely see that, right, we have been climbing, right? We have been climbing as far as the dollar index is concerned. In my opinion, we don't change the trend to a bearish trend unless we close below this level right here, okay? So there is a very good possibility that we might see the dollar come down, retag this area, okay, and then head back up. So as we get the bullish engulfing candles down here on the DXY, this is when we give you the trade alerts to start doing what, okay? As the dollar's getting strong, then we want to short Okay. We want to look at those other pairs that we just talked about at that point. Okay. Because right now, we'll look at them, right? We've been buying NU, GU, AU because the dollar has been weaker. Once the dollar gets stronger, we want to short those currencies. Okay, so we will keep an eye on this, and of course, we talk about this every day inside of our community. We do, a live every day. We talk about it. We update charts every couple hours, and again, I'll give you a sneak peek of that coming up. So, if you're looking to buy currencies with the USD, we are not there yet. You should stay bearish on those currencies until we get confirmation down at this level that the US dollar is going to turn around. Okay. And if that makes sense, drop the number 6 in the chat so I can make sure that you understand the concept with the US dollar. Okay. I want to make sure that you understand that particular thing right in here. Okay. Hey, a quick shout out to Chuck, who just gifted us in the trade membership. Whoa, he gifted 5 Professor Trades memberships. Hey, a quick shout out to Chuck Carino. So 5 of you are going to benefit from memberships because of Chuck. So let's definitely give him some love, and we definitely appreciate you doing that. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I truly appreciate that. And again, that's what the blessing is. When you can bless others, when you can give back like Chuck, that's really what it's all about. Okay. Quick shout out to Amit, who says she's been following me for a long time with crude oil. So happy that you are here. And lastly, Brian Thompson with a message: join the club, well worth it, massive value, learning and trading with wonderful people. Yeah, I agree with you, right? The club has nothing to do with me, even though it's my club. It's really about the amazing 300 plus people that we have. The community makes a difference. So all of you that are members, thank you for being here, because you are the value, right? You can't do great things without great people. Remember that. Let me say that again. You cannot do great things without great people. And I can honestly say that our retention rate is 92% because we have great people. Okay. So let's keep going into the chart. So that is a DXY. Again, if you are in the community, you do not need to worry because you get all these charts by the time I finish this live stream here. Now, I do want to look at what is coming up for this particular week so that you are ready to go. Okay. So understand that Monday, tomorrow, is a US bank holiday, and also in Canada, it's a bank holiday. So we don't trade on holidays. Market structure is not the same. Volume is low. So enjoy tomorrow's President's Day. Don't try to fit a circle in a square peg. Okay. Relax, take the day off. If you're somewhere cold, I apologize. I'm down in Miami where it's nice and warm. Go out to the beach, enjoy yourself. Don't try to trade when there's little volume, because holidays can be very, very tricky. Okay, so here are the big pressers. Again, you always want to pay attention to the red folders. So if you're trading Australian dollar Monday evening, and again, all these times are based on my time zone, which is Eastern Standard Time here in Miami. Okay, Tuesday, some red folders coming up here. Nothing really that big, okay, on the U.S. side until 8:30. This one sometimes moves the markets a little bit, but not really, okay? This is the one that now President Trump, when he speaks, he moves the markets, right? We love that volatility. So again, we have to pay attention to these folders, okay? So Tuesday, pretty light. In the afternoon, we'll see what happens there, okay? Wednesday morning, we begin the fireworks with FOMC meeting minutes, okay? We also have Australian unemployment change. So keep these things in mind as you move forward. Thursday, U.S. unemployment. That'll heavily move the markets as well. Okay. And then heading into Friday, we've got a lot of news happening on Friday. So you definitely want to pay attention to that as well. Okay. As you begin to learn and look at other things, I love using this resource here, the Yahoo Finance futures market. We will be taking a look at these, but just so you can kind of get an understanding of what the ticker symbols are, and some of the ones that we will be covering as well on this live stream. For example, will be coffee that we had begun to sell. And we will be looking, of course, at all the major indices as well. So this is a great resource for you to see the daily change. kind of find out what's going on and do your research for things that you like to trade as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and get back into the charts for now. And Tomas telling me he got 6 inches of snow. Oof. Well, stay warm, my friends. Stay warm. All right, so let's go ahead now and begin our full analysis as I get a quick cup of coffee. All right. All right, so we are going to start with the pairs that we were talking about that are significantly impacted by that dollar index. We will end towards the end of the live stream with the indices, natural gas, and crude oil. So stick around for that. Again, all these pairs that I'm first going to show you have everything to do with the chart that I shared a bit ago when it comes to odd SUD and USUD, GU. All those have everything to do with the dollar. So we wait for that dollar index to turn around before you short this. Okay, so we did have a break of structure right here. Okay, so the signs of AU, what's going to happen with AU will continue to the next level, okay, which is going to be right here. Okay, now we're still talking about a good 40 pips away. Okay, now if that dollar begins to turn around, what's going to happen is you're going to see AU, okay, begin to do a pullback right back into this area here. Okay, now the one thing that you have to be concerned about with AU is where is that reversal going to happen? Because Fibonacci wise, okay, it is in the level that we typically see these types of retracements. Okay, we are at the 88. Now, for AU to continue bullish, we need to have a closure of a 4-hour candle or higher above the 100%. Until we don't get that, this can come up here and reject and come back down. Okay, so if you are currently in an AU long, like many of our members were since down here, you probably want to look at considering closing that trade and then waiting for price action to either reject right into this circle here one more time, okay, or we don't go bullish again until we close above the 100 Fibonacci level. Okay, so again, everything will be dependent on that DXY. Okay, but based on the price action, and again, understand that what happens on Sundays, which is today, a lot of these pairs could possibly gap, which means the only thing a gap is where price closed on Friday compared to where price opens on Sunday. Now, the currencies open at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. And again, check your brokers. Usually the spreads are absolutely crazy. So you definitely want to look at the possibility that those gaps can gap up or down. Okay, again, because tomorrow is a bank holiday, I would discourage you from trying to get into an active trade with a bank holiday and the lack of volume. It's just something that's in our trading rules, right? Even though we trade the gaps Sunday, we look for those mostly on the futures pairs because we've got a lot of the futures traders in our group as well. But again, be cautious that gaps can stay open, and we'll talk more about that tonight on the 6 o'clock live session. So again, you're looking for rejection here. If you get that rejection, I would bring it right back down to this level here and then look to see what happens there. Okay. Don't give back profits. Okay. We tell our traders, if you're in profits 20 to 30 points, you should be protecting. Don't let a winner turn into a loser. And then we have a couple of different strategies that it comes to going in with 2 entries, looking for a runner, what have you. So AU, we're waiting for either price action to reject, okay, or continue bullish above the 100. Okay, let me save that chart for our traders. Okay, let's get into the next EU. Okay, same thing. We've been longing EU. I'm out of completely EU by now. We got to take a look at this level right here. What is the US dollar going to do? Okay, we had the teacup, we had the handle, and teacups are bullish patterns. Okay, so we are back at a third touch area. We are back at the 88.6 Fibonacci level. So again, this is a great low risk, high reward type of entry to possibly come right back here, right? This type of entry will look something like this. When the market opens and you push up right above the zone, trying to take it right back to where price originated from when price started moving up, which would be down here. So again, you will be looking at the DXY to see what happens with this right here. But it looks like if the US dollar gets stronger, then we are going to drop. Okay, so this is the level that you're looking for. Same thing here. We do not go long until we get a 4-hour candle to go above, retest, and then go up to our next level, which is already here for us, right, with the Fibonacci level. Okay, we trade level to level, makes trading much easier and much simpler. Trading is not difficult. Okay, we as the humans make it difficult, but trading is not difficult. So as long as you are, realistic, right, and you can trade from level to level, you are going to be very, very successful with trading. And that's why we see so much success, right? You can't hit a home run with every trade, but we can definitely hit a lot of base hits, which equals the same as home runs along the way. All right, so that's what you're looking for when it comes to EU. Okay, let's head over to GU. Okay, same thing here. So again, what's nice about these pairs is that if you trade one, for the most part, right, you have the possibility to trade mostly all of them. Here was the rejection we saw on Friday. Okay, so again, this is shaping up to look like a possible, type of short position somewhere down here. Just keep an eye on the DXY, right? So this could be a sell stop. Once we break this structure, right, you are looking at taking this down as long as we get confirmation, okay, that the US dollar has begun to rise, okay? As, again, a reminder, if the US dollar continues to head down towards that 100 level we showed you earlier, then this will continue being a buy until we get that reversal, okay? So we'll be looking at this play early in the week, especially with so much news, okay? We'll be looking at this play early in the week when it comes to GU, okay? And then lastly, the fourth one on the USD pairs, same thing here. Now, this one looks a little bit different, okay? This one here looks a little bit different, okay? They have similar characteristics, but this one hasn't come as far up as the others did. So we'll throw a Fibonacci on here. You can see we are in this nice area. I would look to short NU somewhere up in here. Again, with confirmation of DXY, you are looking to take NU down right to the next level, okay? 20 to 30 pips a day can keep a 9 to 5 away once you're ready to go full time. Okay. And that's my goal, turning 2 people in our club this year into full-time traders. Okay. So again, that's what we're looking for now. Price did close above structure. So we could see a retracement early. And as long as price stays above this level, right, this is a buy back up. Okay. Until you get a candle to close below this level. That's when you can start going bearish from this level. Until you don't get that, you're either taking the buy, or I think the US dollar will probably push down one more time, and then you'll have a nice opportunity for a buy up in these levels. So that's what we are looking for on the USD pairs coming up for this week. Okay, so great question, Daniel. Are you looking for a completed 4-hour candle? Okay, yes and no. If the real answer should be yes, you wait for a 4-hour candle to close. Now, if you look at that current candle on the chart right now, there's a lot of pips. When I say there's 10, 15, 20 pips, again, that's all you need a day to be a consistent trader, that people will buy for the impulse. So if you break a zone, okay, if you break a zone, you can grab some pips to the top side in this example, okay, on the impulse. But if you're looking for the longer move, yes, the correct answer should be that you're waiting for a candle to close to then retest to then go higher, okay? To close to then retest and go higher. But look at the example right over here. This is why I always talk about with you guys, like there's profits to be made on the breakout of a zone, right? Because look what happened here. Price broke through the zone, gave you 36 pips. Again, we always talk about after 20, we secure, okay? And then you're leaving a runner or you're protecting. Then what happened? The market reshifted. So this was a false breakout. The market shifted down, trapped a lot of buyers. But if you were an impulsive buyer, you still took your 20 pips and then you were good, right? The market didn't retest. It continued going down. So that's the same thing here, right? Impulse break, right? There's going to be times where you're going to be able to grab 52 pips to the top side. Sometimes maybe it's only 5, right? So you have to be on it. And this is why I don't, I'm not in front of a computer all day. I live, with alerts. So I'm having alerts at key zones to look at price action. And of course, when I get that price action, I'm giving all of you what those alerts are and what I'm doing. Okay, so that's the key for the impulse. This broke zone, is it going to retest and go up higher? I would check the DXY. If the DXY is dropping, you're going to be able to pick up, for example, NZD USD back up to this level. If the DXY starts turning around, just go short. Just go short on NU. Okay? Does everyone understand that with the impulse? If you do, drop the number 7 in the chat. If you understand that you can be an impulsive breakout trader and you're going to usually grab, remember we're on a daily time frame. Okay, if you do this on a daily time frame, you're going to easily grab 20 to 50 pips at a time. Okay, so again, this is why I like trading on the higher time frames, because I can see movement, I can see institutional money, and that makes it much easier than trying to look at a 2-minute candle. Okay, a 3-minute candle. There's a strategy for that for people who are busy, have to scalp, but long-term money is sitting right here on the daily time frame. Okay, long-term money is sitting right here on the daily time frame. Okay, so this is the important piece right here. Okay, this is the important piece right here. Okay, so let's head now over here. Okay, and I told you that one of the ones that I wanted to talk about for those of you on the future side that we looked at a few minutes ago was this coffee that had been at some all-time highs. Okay, coffee has been on a rampage. We started taking sells up at this 440 level. Okay, I believe that we will. I gave you these 2 long-term targets. I believe we are going to hit these 2 targets. So for those of you that are still in coffee sells, right, we are now in this little consolidation area right here that happened over the last 4 days. Okay, once coffee closes below this yellow line to the bottom, we could be heading all the way back down into the 300s. Okay, obviously a lot of this is tariff driven. Okay, so you have to keep a pulse on what's going on with the governmental news. That's why a lot of these prices are a little bit higher. But as those things settle down, as negotiations are made, you are going to see coffee do a massive retracement, because as you can see here, right, really for the last 4 years, coffee has been on a massive price run. Okay, so there is the potential to make a significant amount of money with coffee, trading it on futures, even if you have micro lots, because coffee is due for a massive retracements. As soon as this tariff stuff begins to settle down, you are going to see coffee retrace back down to these levels. But in the meantime, we are going to hit these first targets, okay, that we've already given you since last week, okay, which is a nice, super nice movement for coffee. And then once we break that level of 398, then we will target liquidity down right here at 381. Okay. And then we will wait to see what happens at this 381 level. Because in my opinion, this level here is our bearish level. Once we close below 381, right, we are going to head down towards the trend line. But right now we are not there, right? We can still see a bounce here and higher pricing. So I am only a seller of coffee. I just wait for weekly highs to be made, and then we go from there. Okay. So, but for now, those of you in shorts, you are in real good position for coffee. Okay. So that is the place there on coffee. So real quick, hey, I showed you I wanted to give you a little bit of value while we were here. So if you have not yet had a chance to do so, before we get to the other charts, I definitely encourage you to come on in for about $1 a day. Okay, come on in and check out our community. We are constantly in this community, welcoming new people. Again, I am not the purpose. We have an entire chat zone. We celebrate birthdays. Okay, we give these trade alerts all day, depending on what's going on. Okay, so we are active. I am in those charts all the time. We have an Elliott Wave room with Mr. Brad, our full-time analyst, who is giving you charts, 6-7 charts almost every 2 to 3 hours, so you can stay in trades longer and maximize your profit. All of that is right here. You don't need to go out and pay for courses. We're giving you courses for the same price as your membership, which you will not find everything else. you can come into our video area. You're not only going to get the feed of the videos, but you are going to be able to go in and begin to take these courses absolutely for free with your membership. In addition to that, I kind of have a blog style built in into the Trader's Toolbox that you can come on in and get information about how to trade and different informations about crude oil techniques, which is my specialty, and things of that nature. So we make it super, super easy. But let me tell you again, the power of the community are the people, right? Are the people in this community who are in here every day, contributing, sharing charts. That's the power of community. So hopefully some of you will take advantage of this. Come on in, meet your new family members, trade with us every day, and be a part of a growing family. We've only been around for a year, and I'm extremely blessed that God has put me in this position to be able to give back and share with others. So I highly encourage you to check that out. Okay, so let's get back into the chart. Let's now get over into, let's start at the bottom here. I wanted to get into gold. Again, congratulations. We absolutely crushed gold in the last 2 weeks. Okay. This sell-off that happened on Friday for over 50 points, that's 500 pips on the currency side. How many ticks is that on the future side? You do the math. Okay. Now, I predominantly trade on the future side, but that's why I share my charts for both platforms. Again, amazing, right? I'm extremely proud that we had so many people, humbled, grateful people, getting messages saying they made their car payments, they paid off their mortgage, they just all over the place, right? Whether your goal is to make $1 a day or a little bit more, right? You got to scale. If you don't learn how to make 10 cents a day for 2 weeks, you're never going to be able to make 10,000 or 2,000 or 1,000 or 500. So we scale, especially if you're brand new to trading, right? I love working with new traders, but gold, oof. That's all I got to say. Huge pips, right? Pete Reynolds, huge pips, right? And most of the folks in our group, they're full-time workers. They're dads, they're moms, right? They're teachers, they're nurses, they're doctors, they're clinicians. They own small businesses, but we make it simple for them to catch pips in here, catch points, catch ticks. So gold, oof, yes, we'll be getting to crude oil in just a little bit. So again, gold has made this daily bearish engulfing candle. We hit all targets along the way. So let's clean the playing field. Again, that high near that 2960 on this chart. Again, and even if you use a different chart, your price action should resemble. So we have a floor here. We cannot ignore that floor for gold. Okay. Now I mentioned this inside of our group. Okay. I mentioned this inside of our group, and I will keep telling you that even at these prices, okay, I am not a buyer of gold. I am strictly a seller of gold. Okay. So I don't care if I trade gold once a week or once every 2 weeks. I'm waiting for these massive pullbacks because I'm not sure where gold is going to top off. Okay. Have we seen the short term, which could be a 6-month term? Is this the current high? Right. So we do have to pay attention to the fundamentals. Okay. And the global stuff going on to see if gold is going to give us another push from here and then possibly back up for a new high. If we look at the daily candle, if we look at the institutional money, right? No secret here where gold has been, right? We're uptrending still, right? So the trend for gold on the daily will not change until we don't get a candle to close below this level. Okay. So these are the next two levels that we will be looking at. Can we scalp some buys? Absolutely. Are we ready to do that now? Absolutely not. Okay. This is when we drop into our smaller time frame. Okay. And then we're looking for the signs of those bullish engulfing candles, right? Here was the sign why many of our buyers began to buy. That was the sign. There's the bullish engulfing candle. So until we don't see that over here somewhere, there's no way in heck we're even going to try to scalp gold with this push. I'm expecting a big gap today, possibly on gold. We shall see. Maybe they'll gap up to knock out people that are selling. We shall see. But these are the kind of candles that we need to see. This candle right here, was the confirmation for gold. Why? Because it broke this hourly structure. So this was the candle to go long, not this one. This was a bounce off support. And if you got an entry there, which we do typically, that's great because it's a very low risk. But here was your confirmation candle to either stay in or get in again. Here was your confirmation candle. So we need a confirmation candle eventually. So this is the 1 hour view from gold. We will need to see to wait to what happens at this level. We could have another buying opportunity down here for short term. But again, I always look at the big term picture, and this is what we're looking at, right? We need to see what's going to happen on the daily. If we continue to push down on gold and we close below this 28.33, we are heading back to the 2700s, but we're not there yet, right? So we will trade this area in the community starting on Tuesday. We will trade it tonight if the gap is worth taking. So we shall see what the gap brings us. But again, this is my view on gold. We will not be bearish on gold until we close below 28.33 on the daily. Okay, on the daily. If not, we have to respect this level and we have to respect a previous point where price bounced. Okay, so we will be trading these levels both up and down. Even though I'm a seller, we definitely give our buy entries for those folks in the room that want to pick up some buying opportunities on gold. Okay, so we're waiting for these levels to pan out, and I'm going to save this chart. And members, you will get all this stuff again in just a little bit. I'm going to get to crude oil in just a minute. I do want to look at natural gas. Then I'm going to do the indices, and then I'm going to finish up with an in-depth crude oil. So stick around for that. And don't forget, if you're getting some value, you can help me out by liking this video. And if you want to share the stream, I would appreciate that as well. Okay, so what are these red lines? Well, folks in my community know what those red lines are. I'm going to show you what those red lines are as well. Okay, so again, we are going to be talking about these gaps. Now, natural gas is not something, okay, is not something that you should be trading for the first time. Okay, natural gas, okay, many experts in the field, those of you who've been trading futures for a while, will understand that people say natural gas can become the widow maker because you can lose a lot of money in natural gas. So I only trade natural gas in futures, and I only trade natural gas with micro lots because these gaps can stay open for a long time. So as we look at this, we are probably going to have another major gap today, as we always do. So what are these symbols over here in the red? Well, guess what? They are gaps in the market. Let me squeeze my chart just to kind of show you these. So we still have an open gap then at 3.34, and we still have an open gap at 3.10. There are actually gaps still open from January 2023. So as we look at this, okay, on a smaller time frame, understand that today in the market, I expect no different. Okay, I'm actually thinking that because where price is, I wouldn't be surprised if they gap up huge today because there's a lot of retail traders that started selling up in this area, myself included, right? With a couple micro lots, I started selling because they're not going to leave multiple gaps so close to each other open. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do a huge gap up today, okay, because for the demand for natural gas has been a little bit high because of all the cold weather happening around the world. So that is a driver for natural gas, okay? But if you trade this right with a good swing opportunity, especially if we gap back up, okay? If we do gap back up, we're just going to enter more sales down to these levels, okay? So if you have not yet entered natural gas, you are in primo position to pick up some shorts on natural gas at both of these levels, the current one up there and the one here. This is if we gap, okay? If we gap up, okay, sell NG, which is the ticker symbol in futures for natural gas, okay? So we shall see what happens. We're still expecting at least this one gap to close, maybe not the second one. I'm not even interested in taking this position down to the gap. I'm actually looking to cash out at this wick right here. That's my take profit on natural gas right there. I don't need the gaps to come down. This is plenty. Okay, this is plenty. I am not greedy in the markets. I take what the markets give me. But because we came to a good Fibonacci level, okay, this was the reason why we began to short natural gas, because again, we're in this 78 to 79 point area. But again, if we do gap up, let's add some positions to the downside. Okay, so that's the view on natural gas, and we will give you this chart as well. Okay, let's run through some of the indices. Let's start with one of my favorite. Okay, one of my favorite, which is the NASDAQ. Okay, and I had left us here bearish news so far. We had a sell stop that never hit on Thursday or Friday, I think it was. So let's take a look at the NAS. Let's go over to the daily and let's take a look at the NAS. Right, so what do you see over here to the left? What do you see? We see nothing, right? The black hole. We're coming up. We're at those all times up here. Let's take a look at the weekly. Okay. What do we see over here to the left? Nothing. So why should you be licking your chops? Because the short is coming. Okay. The major short is coming. Okay. So on the weekly, we're at this level right here. Okay. And we're going to this bottom here. So that's our playing field for the NAS. We drop over the daily. We are right back there right now. Okay. Please do me a favor. Okay. Please do me a favor. Do not, I encourage you, do not buy the all-time highs or you can get stuck. Okay. So for the NAS, I am only a 100% seller of the NAS because we are up here. Okay. Now we're not just going to just jump into a trade right when the market opens. Again, we're not even trading tomorrow because of the bank holiday, unless we get a substantial gap tonight. But I'm going to encourage you to the shorts for NAS will be coming pretty soon. And of course, we'll keep the beat of that in the trading community. Okay. So we are ranging right now in here. Okay. I believe that we're going to do one more possibly push up. It could be the gap for the NAS. They'll create a new high, and then we will start shortening the NAS at that point. Okay. So depending on where the NAS opens today, we may get into a short or we may not. It just depends on where price is right now. Let me get rid of this alert because we never had that push down. So this is the area for the NAS. Okay. So I am only looking for sells at this point. Okay. So we will keep you abreast of that. When I enter, hopefully you enter, and that's the way we roll. Okay. I'll let you know when that entry happens. And I'm going to put an alert here because I live off alerts. If we do break that with the gap today, we will be shorting the NAS. Okay. So that's the outlook for the NAS. Let's head over to our good friend, the US 30, the Dow Jones. Okay. Congratulations to all the members. We began buying the Dow Jones down at these levels down in here. And I told you on Friday, close your trades because the market news was going to be bearish. And sure enough, we had a bearish Friday with the markets. Okay. So now we're waiting for that same type of price confirmation. You can see I already have alerts at the highs and I have alerts at the lows down in here. Okay. So right now, US 30 of the other two is a little bit choppier because we're kind of in this area right here. Okay. We made a low, a high, a low, a high, a low. So will we go up or will we go down? We are going to, if price gaps up here in this area, we are going to short, okay, the US 30. Okay. If price comes down here, because we're not trading in this boxy area, if price comes down here, then we will look to buy the US 30. Okay. We will look to buy the US 30 at this point. So on the daily, we are ranging. Okay. And this is why a lot of traders make mistake is it's very difficult to kind of find out, are we going, are we not going, are we going up, are we going down? There's no, in my opinion, there's no definitive answer yet. We're kind of in this zone right in here. You can see it a little bit clearer on the 8-hour, right? So we've been selling the highs and buying the lows. Eventually, price is going to knock and they're going to open the door. What does that mean? That eventually the door gets open and price shoots up to the top side, or the door gets open and price shoots to the bottom side. Okay. But in the meantime, These are great. This is why we do our high reward, low risk trades, because our goal is to always go back down and then we flip it, right? When we go long, we look for these levels. So until the evidence changes, right? Those were the last few trades that we did on these levels. So we're waiting for the exact same thing. So we're patient. We don't get into a trade somewhere mid area because there's a lot of uncertainty. We wait for price to come to us. That's why there is a list of all these different things plus futures that you can trade that you don't need to force a trade. And that's the biggest issue that I had to learn as a new trader. I was trying to force trades. So ask yourself, are you forcing trades? Okay. Do you feel like you have to trade daily or force something? If you answer yes, then you have to get in the right mindset and the right psychology. And we talk a lot of psychology because if you can get the psychology right, trading is easy. It's the psychology. It's the greed. It's the, you already made your pips for the day or your ticks for the day and you want more. So you get back in the market and then you lose some of it. And then you go back into revenge trading. Try to make up what you lost. Had you not gotten back in the first place, you would have had a successful day. So our theme in our community in 2025 is we are not day traders. We are monthly investors. Where are we at the end of the month is all that I care about. So we position ourselves in the market to have positive months. And that's why we're seeing so much success. When you can flip the switch to think you have to trade daily, you really want to get out of that day trading mentality. You want to go into a monthly investors mentality. Where is the market going and where can I position myself in the market? So at the end of 30 to 60 days, I'm up on this one, on this one, on this one. And that's how you have success in the market, not by trying to day trade trades that are not ready for a significant area, right? I don't gamble. A lot of these entries here, people were gambling which direction trade was going to go. So we'll be a little patient on the US 30. Okay, we'll be a little patient on the US 30. Okay, let's head over to our friend, the Russell 2000. Okay, same thing here. Okay, we had that uptick. Let me go to the daily. Okay, we had that uptick from this lower zone. There's the rejection. Okay, again, look at all the rejection points, right? Why hasn't price closed below 2240? Because they have no aspirations to possibly take it below 2240. So same thing here. If the Russell pushes down, okay, early in the week, we will look to buy the Russell down at these wick areas. Okay, this one here came down to the perfect 88.6 area. Okay, but we are going to wait and become investors down in this area because until I don't see a candle close below this area, 2240, I'm a buyer in the market. I'm a buyer of the Russell until we don't get a candle to close. Our next top is right here. So that's what we take it to. Once price reaches this level, right, we take out our profits and then we wait for confirmation of price to close above. And if we get the closure, okay, and the pullback, then again, we look to buy again and take it up to the next level. And that's how we trade the Russell 2000 from level to level to level. So we'll wait to see what happens early in the week. Again, bank holiday on Monday. We'll see how the market's open, and then we will react to the markets once we get confirmation. And that's why you could see from last week, I already have an alert set right here to be buying the Russell once price comes down to the bottom side. I am not buying here in the middle of the playing field. I'm going to let price come to me in one direction or another. Okay. All you need is one good trade a day. If you get that, 2 trades a week. Okay. And that's how you can grow your portfolio over time. Okay. If you're here to try to turn $500 into $50,000, this is probably not for you. You have better luck going to the casino and see if you can gamble your way. This is about people. And this is why I'm so proud of our community. We've had people that started with me a year ago and they're still here. Why? Because they're growing their portfolios. They realize the importance of growing over time. Okay. Of growing over time. Okay. Who is ready for crude oil? If you're ready for the crude oil analysis, drop the number 6 in the chat, which is my favorite number. And I know there's about a 20-second delay on YouTube. So I'm going to get a drink of water. And I'm going to wait for some of those 6s. Who's ready for the crude oil analysis? Drop the number 6 in the chat. All right, awesome. And if you are one of my members and you cashed in with our crude oil sales late last week, drop the number 10 in the chat. Drop the number 10 in the chat so folks can see all the folks that were grabbing those sells in the chat when it came to crude oil. We've been talking about this on my Sunday crude oil videos for the last 3 weeks. We've been talking about structure is down. Structure is down. I'm not buying. I'm not buying. I'm only looking for opportunities to sell crude oil. Okay. Sandor in a group grabbing those shorts. Okay. Awesome. Yes. Manjo, 10. Daniel, 10. Pete Reynolds, Big 10. Okay. So, again, you can't do great things without great people. So we have great people and we're in it together. All right. We're in it together. All right. Let's head over to our chart here. We crushed our profit line, which was that blue line. So in my charts, when you see blue line, that is ultimate profit target that we are targeting. So let's go ahead and start a brand new playing field here. Again, here is the structure. You can just see the structure still walking down, right? There is the structure of crude oil, right? We are still in a bearish structure, okay? We are still in a bearish structure. Hey, there you go. There's a message for you, my man. There's a message for you that you can read. All right. So we are still in a bearish structure. So what is going to happen? Again, understand. You got to understand where price is right now, and you got to understand the fundamentals that are happening with crude oil. Okay. Under the U.S. Trump administration, a main focus is to keep crude oil prices down. Okay, if we go back to the last 4 years of the Trump administration, where we had $2 a gallon price, we were down in the 60s. Okay, for price, and I believe sooner than later that's where we are going to head. Okay, that's where we are going to head. So understanding structure is very important, so you don't get caught on the wrong side of the trade. Now, if you're looking to scalp, you can scalp some buys. There'll be some buying opportunities, but understand as we go through the analysis now that you've got to take a look at structure from a weekly standpoint. Okay, I'm actually going to start on the monthly since we are about halfway through the month of February. And again, all the signs why we began selling, we had rejection points up at this area here on the weekly. If you are not spending time on the weekly chart, then you are doing yourself a disservice, right? When price began to come up, okay, 2 months ago, okay, into this Fibonacci area, again, for a trend to change, there needs to be price closing above the 100 price level, okay, on any Fibonacci chart if you are doing it correctly, okay? And then the next level of resistance to the top side, in this case, would be always the 127 extension. But when we got signs that price was not going above the 88.6, we began selling crude oil. Okay. So this has been going on for a while. You've heard me talk about it on my Sunday videos for at least a month now about crude oil structure is down. Crude oil structure is down. Crude oil structure is down. Okay. Only looking for sell opportunities. So as we drop down into the weekly now, and I'll get rid of this Fibonacci level for a minute. Okay, what do we see here? Let's go ahead and, okay, there was the rejection. Now, we had a couple of pushes up, right? We saw the next rejection right there. And this is why I like looking at rejection levels, because I think rejection levels tell the story. Plus, the rejection levels gives you a nice place to set your Fibonacci, okay? If you think Fibonacci is a scam, go ask the folks in our community members if they think Fibonacci is a scam. We love Fibonacci. We make a lot of money using Fibonacci, especially on the higher time frames. So by understanding where that last rejection point was, well, take a look at this. We grabbed Fibonacci from the low end, right? And where did price come to again? right to where we look for that type of rejection, right? Again, remember what I just said. Price has to close above the 100 to significantly change the immediate trend. Well, we never got a closure. So we are going to take these high reward, low risk trades all day, all day. And so we got that on the weekly level and why we were only looking for sells when it came to crude oil. So now the question is, okay, where is crude oil going? Well, we got to respect that wick, and we have a wick here and a wick here, right? So we have equal lows sitting right here, right? We are not going to drop down to the next weekly level unless we get a daytime candle, daytime. Let me say that again, daily candle, not a 1 hour, not a 4 hour, a daily candle to close down in this area. Okay. So we'd have to have a daily candle close below 70, basically. Okay. So for right now, right, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks of drop when it came to crude oil. So we are looking, to see what's going to happen today with any gaps. We're not going to trade it on the bank holiday. And then we are going to be looking for maybe grabbing a short bounce up to a little bit of these liquidity areas on a smaller time frame. So as we drop to the daily, right, we have no evidence that price is going to make this move to the downside. Okay, we have no evidence yet. So until there is evidence, we trade what we see. So what I see here is that we have possibly, right, are we going to get the next leg of a temporary possible W pattern, right? So we will wait to see. I'm anticipating some type of a bounce. How far the bounce will be, we don't know. That's when we drop down, okay, to the smaller time frames. But look at this last 8-hour candle right here, right? That is a bearish engulfing candle from this level. But nothing happens unless it closes below this level of 70. So this is going to be a very critical level for crude oil, okay? This is going to be a very level for crude oil. If we break below 70 and we close, then we are going to head down to the next level of 68.50. So you are going to see if you can grab, okay, this is what we'll look for, okay? If there is going to be a temporary push up on crude oil, it's going to happen at the break of this structure. So I'm going to give you that. For being here patient, I'm going to give you the break of structure. If there's a break of, and this is only going to be for a scalp, okay, because I do see liquidity here, that would be your buy stop right back up to this area right here if price just doesn't keep heading south, okay? So if we get a break of structure, okay, that buy stop could happen in this area, okay? So that buy stop will happen in this area on a smaller time frame, maybe 20 ticks, maybe 40 ticks, maybe 20 pips, but I do see some liquidity sitting in this candle. They may do a quick push up and then back down, okay? Now, if they end up taking price above 72, then we're just going to the next level on the hourly, okay? Which will be about 72.64. But until then, this is still a bearish structure, okay? Now, will we get a bounce here? We shall see, okay? It's looking like we're going to probably get at least a little bit of a bounce. Remember that W's and M patterns in the market are never exactly precise, okay? So they don't always reach the tip or they don't always go back up. So that's probably a bounce that we may see down at this level one more time. But if you do take a bounce down at this level, if you're going to be courageous enough, not courageous, but if you see signs of a bullish engulfing candle at this level, you definitely want to look to cash out at 70, 78 or so, okay? Because then this pattern could continue just like this. Here, back up, and then we drop back down for the lower lows, okay? So this is what we will be monitoring as we open up the week with crude oil. I'll be reading the fundamentals. I could see a push down into the 68s, okay? I think there's going to be a lot of retail people trying to buy here, but we will wait. Again, you don't get a signal until we get that confirmation candle, okay? If we do a quick bounce, it's for a scalp. It's not for a long-term move with crude oil, okay? My position is by looking at this monthly chart, okay, by looking at this monthly chart, that we are headed to 68 to 69. Okay, we are headed to 68 to 69 on a bigger pattern. Okay, now if we go deep into crude oil, there's a lot of liquidity sitting right in here. Okay, are we going to get down to the 40s and 50s? Not right away. Okay, not right away. But this is still from 2020 liquidity. Will they come back for that liquidity? We shall see. We trade what we see, but these levels have to be broken for us to continue trading in one direction or another. Until we don't break levels, right? We don't get into a trade. Okay. If you can become a level to level trader with crude oil, the world is yours, right? But you got to know when to get in and you got to know when to get out. And that's why we're so successful, because we take these micro charts and we just break it down from a higher time frame. We put ourselves in a position to excel at these levels. Okay. So that's what we'd be looking for on the long term when it comes to looking at crude oil, where it may or may not go. We may get that bounce there. Okay, we may get that bounce there, but again, as you drop down in time frames, okay, you should not be taking a buy until there's a break of structure. That break of structure is not going to happen until we close above that top level of 70, 78. Okay, to head back up. In the meantime, oil is still bearish. Okay, so when this level breaks above, like it did here, okay, see that bullish engulfing candle came back, retest a little bit, and then took off. Until we don't see that here, we're not buying crude oil. We're not buying crude oil. Okay, so all of our trades are closed now. Obviously, we try to keep our trades closed on the weekend. So our trades are closed. If you're still writing a sell, use caution. I'm anticipating we might gap up just to knock out some sellers, or we may gap down. If we gap down on crude oil down into this box area, then I'll consider buying at this level here. And again, we'll trade those gaps tonight at 6 o'clock in the community, which, by the way, I had an interesting question today. So our community is available. It has its own private app. I run my community through the Mighty Network. So whether you have an app, a tablet, a computer, access to a website, Android, iPhone, it doesn't matter. You would be able to access everything that I just showed you earlier inside of the trading community. Okay, so that is a wrap for today. I hope you got some value. We've been streaming for over an hour today. And again, that's the benefit of being in a community that, we do a live analysis for 15, 20 minutes every morning to look at the 1-2 key charts, and then we're successful. We're not looking at 28 charts. And most traders are unsuccessful because of the shiny object syndrome, or they're in 10,000 telegrams and 10,000 Discord channels, and you're all over the place. So when you're only looking for signals, if you're only looking for signals, trading isn't for you, because when those signals go away, you will have nothing to show for it. So not only are you getting signals here, but you're learning. Member trainings, live courses, all of that stuff is included in your $28 to $30 a month membership. You will waste that on junk. Come on in and educate yourself. And once you feel you have a grasp for it, man, cancel. Go do it on your own. I'm so happy when people tell me, hey, Armando, I tripled my account. I'm good. I'm ecstatic for that. Again, great people can only do great things when they have the great people around them. So I invite you in. Check it out for 30 days. You can always cancel, but I can guarantee you're going to see the massive, massive value. All right. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button for me. Even after the stream is over, share the link with others. Let them see what we do. And maybe we'll do this every Sunday when I'm not busy or doing something a long 1 hour, even for those in our YouTube membership community, or just those of you that are just passing along and checking it out. And if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. 48% of our folks that watch my videos are not subscribed. I'm going to be putting out short YouTube shorts, 3 minutes or less, on updates, analysis, tricks, and tips through YouTube shorts. So they're quick for you, right? So you can just swipe, look at it, and then move on. But if you're not subscribed, you're not going to get those notifications as well. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you inside of our trading community at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because you know what we do with the gaps. Let's do it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. May God bless you and your family.